Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unit 5. This project is really important because it's a milestone. It sets the foundation for the full research paper that you'll write in the next unit. So, what's the good news? Well, you're not writing the entire paper yet. Instead, you're building the pieces that make a strong research paper possible, which is really, really critical and important. So I want you to do your very best work. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to submit, what I'm looking for, and how to avoid the most common mistakes. So while you're watching this, I recommend that you go ahead and pull up the assignment sheet and maybe even pause the video when you need so that you can refer to the two. So let's talk about the big picture first. Before we get into all of the details, why does this assignment even matter? So the first thing I want you to realize and know is that research papers are complex. They combine skills you've already practiced. So things like summary, paraphrase, analysis, all of that MLA documentation that you've been doing with some new ones, like evaluating sources, and then what we call synthesizing, weaving everything together, synthesizing ideas. This helps you focus on choosing an appropriate topic from all of that list that we gave you, using the library appropriately and making sure that you have strong library sources, developing a clear thesis, and organizing ideas using a formal outline. You're also going to practice writing a really strong introductory paragraph. So everything you do here in Unit 5 is going to make Unit 6 so much easier for you. So that's what I want you to understand right from the get-go. So what are you going to submit in Unit 5? Okay, you've already done your forum. So you've already told me a little bit about, hey, this is the topic I selected. This is what I found good about the research or difficult about the research process. So you've already done that part. Okay. So the next thing that you're going to do is submit a thesis statement and a formal outline, an introductory paragraph, and an annotated bibliography with at least 5 library sources. You're going to submit all of this electronically to the D2L Dropbox, and it will be checked through Turnitin. So here's what I need you to understand if you have not already understood it. AI is a tool. You can use AI, but anytime you use AI, you must disclose it. You can't just tell me, oh, I just used Grammarly, because that's not enough. You live in the age of AI, and because of that, you have to disclose any use. It's a great tool to use, but it cannot write your paper for you. And you can't use Grammarly as kind of that fallback. Even if you are using Grammarly, you need to disclose that for me. So we can do this one of two ways. You can write a disclosure, and I'll show you how in the news section later. You'll see a little box pop up that shows you how to write an AI disclosure. Or I'm also going to put the option of using Grammarly authorship. It's a little more complicated, but you can use that to prove that you are authoring your papers. But if you use Grammarly or Grammarly Pro, if you're doing that, and then you just turn in your paper, Turnitin is often going to show that your paper is AI generated. It's going to do that because Grammarly is an AI company. They use generative AI to make those suggestions for you. And especially if they try to fundamentally change your sentences, that's all it is. It's AI doing it for you. The problem with that is it scrubs away your personal tone to the paper. It makes it sound robotic, and it's not even your words anymore. So then I have no real way of knowing what did this person really learn critically through this process? Was there critical thinking? Did they engage with the text and the documents? I need you to do that in order to earn college credit. So it's really, really important that If you use AI and use it as a tool, it's a wonderful tool that you disclose that you used it. Okay? So step one was choosing your topic. I think you probably already have that at this point. If you did the forum, then you absolutely do. Okay? You can't substitute any other topic, but if you do find as you've gotten into it that you need to switch topics, then you need to contact me and let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that what you wrote on your forum is what you choose to do. Okay, these topics are specifically designed for a cause and effect research paper. That means your thesis must explain why something happens, what happens as a result, or both. Okay, so the way that you decide if this is the right topic for you is number one, can I find scholarly sources about this? And number two, am I able to reasonably explain the causes and effects? That's really, really important. Step two is finding your sources, and this part matters a lot. Okay, so when you were doing your forum, you were talking about, hey, can I find it? Do I know what I'm doing? Or this is how I'm working on it. Okay, the project requires library sources from the ORU library. You cannot just go on the internet and find sources here. You need library sources. So in order to do that, you can go to resources in D2L and go to the ORU library. And then they have databases to help you find journal articles or scholarly ebook chapters, etc., things like that. Okay. If you get stuck and you click on Ask a Librarian, they will help you. If for some reason you don't feel like you've gotten enough help, then email me. You're not bothering me, but I need to know so that I can help you fix it. I need you to also know that you are required to have 5 credible library sources that you have cited correctly. Wikipedia and encyclopedias do not count here. Okay? So even if you use the Bible as a source, which I highly encourage you to always read your Bible and use it as a source, it does not count for this. So it has to be 5 library sources, scholarly, credible library sources. Okay? Most library entries have a citation icon. And if you go in there and go into that and then choose MLA, it will do your citation for you most of the time. You might want to double check it for capitalization and formatting, but as long as you've selected MLA 9, you should be able to get that correct citation. That is much better than having AI generate your citations because you can pretty much be sure that those that are posted in the library are correctly formatted, and that's required. You need correct in-text citations and correct ending citations. And most of the time, that citation icon will give you both. For step 3, which is really where you are in this second part of the unit, you're going to have your sources, you're going to skim them. You don't need to read them closely yet. You will need to read them, but you don't need to closely read them yet. Okay? But from skimming, you should be able to identify patterns in your sources. Notice any causes and effects. Really take note of that. And then let those answers shape your thesis. Your thesis statement comes before the outline. So you're going to put it at the top before the outline. So header and then the heading. So you've got your header up at the top, which is your last name and the page number. So Stone 1. So I've got my header. Then I'm going to put my heading. After I've done my heading correctly, I'm going to have my title of the assignment, and then right below that is going to be my thesis. It's not part of the outline. It comes before the outline. It makes a strong assertion. It's not a question. It's not any of that. It's an assertion. The sky is blue. Okay, whatever. It's a strong assertion. It clearly addresses causes and or effects. Okay, so if you're talking about celiac disease, and I talk about that because I have celiac disease, if you're talking about that, you're going to make a strong assertion about celiac disease. The quality of the grain we produce in the United States has led to the overdiagnosis of celiac disease. That's a cause and effect statement. Okay, whether you agree or disagree, that's just, that's an assertion from me, just right off the top of my head. After you do your thesis statement, you're going to do your outline. Your outline must follow a formal outline structure. So it uses Roman numerals, capital letters, numbers, and lowercase letters. Word and Google Docs will do this for you if you use that feature. Excuse me. Each main point represents several paragraphs in the future paper. Okay, this is not just a 5-paragraph essay. You're going to really dig in and write a really strong college level paper here. So every one of your main points will represent several paragraphs. Your subpoints will provide evidence or explanation, which is really, really important. A common mistake that I see is students that list topics instead of ideas. Your points should say something, not just name something. So I want you to remember that, okay? You want it to say something, not just give me the name of something. Then in step 4, you're going to do your annotated bibliography. An annotated bibliography is more than a works cited page. It is not your works cited page, okay? For each source, you're going to include the MLA citation that's correctly formatted, a brief summary in your own words, and then an explanation of how you're going to use that source in your paper. Do not copy the abstract from the library. Don't do it. I have that happen all of the time. That's not what this is for, okay? And all of your citations must be alphabetized. So I want you to think of this as the way of you showing me, I understand my sources. I've selected them, I've looked at them, I understand what they say, and I know why they belong in my paper. Okay? And then step 5 is going to be that introductory paragraph. So it is separate from the outline, but turned in together. So you're going to write the opening paragraph of your research paper. I want you to remember that a strong introduction captures the reader's interest, explains why the topic matters, gives necessary background, defines key terms if needed, and then ends with your thesis statement. But you're never going to anywhere in there tell me what you're going to tell me. You're just going to say it. Your thesis statement is always one sentence at the very end of the paper. I want you to also use the checklist in the project packet to self-check everything before you submit it. It's right there. Okay? The other thing I want to emphasize to you guys is this does not have to be perfect. I want to see your process here. So it's normal for you later on, before you write the paper, to have to revise your thesis, to have to reorder your outline points, okay? To add or replace sources. That's perfectly normal. So when you get to the final paper, it might not look the same. If your paper is looking too perfect because you think you're going to get an A or something like that, it's just going to cause problems. I just want to see your writing process, okay? Doing solid work now is going to give you a stronger starting point for the final paper, and that's really important. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Reach out early. I'm here to help you, and I want to hear from you. I would much rather help you while you're working than after you're frustrated by feedback I've given you. You are not expected to be an expert yet. You're expected to be learning the process. Take this project step by step, and you'll be in excellent shape for Unit 6. Good luck, guys, and I enjoy hearing from you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you discover here. So, again, reach out. Let me know if you have any issues, anything you need me to help you with. I'm here. But please show me your process. This is not about perfection, and you don't earn an A by showing me perfect. You earn an A by showing me that you've critically worked through the process. I hope you have a great week.